Welcome to the To Your Success podcast, hosted by Christer Johnsen and Elin Solheim. Each bi-weekly episode takes a deep dive into how success and freedom is created and how you can start living the life you truly want now. Christer was top CEO of international companies for more than 20 years. He's done business in most parts of the world. Now he is an international success mentor, helping people and organizations to be successful. Elin and Christer are partners in life and business. They truly live what they teach every day. They sail their beautiful 43-footer around the world while helping clients all over the world. They are proof that you can get all the freedom you've ever wanted. They truly live what they teach every single day.
Hello everyone and warm welcome to this episode of To Your Success podcast. We are back in Norway with snow outside, and with me today is my partner and wife,
Elin Solheim. Nice
Hi,
to
Elin.
be here again.
Same to you. It's wonderful to record another podcast, and we will like to thank everyone that follows us on our podcast. If you feel that this brings joy to your life and effortlessness to your life, then subscribe to the podcast. We release a new podcast every second week, every second Tuesday. We will do that. And today we're going to talk about a very, very important principle. I talked about this in my high achiever group earlier today. I have a wonderful group of people that I help achieving what they really want. And we talk about the difference between working hard and working smart. And working smart is actually just a principle. And it's called the Effortless way.
Yeah, and you actually have some reading to do for us today, doesn't you?
I do. I want to read a very short phrase from a book of Neville Goddard. And it says, I have to put my glasses back on. The principle of least action governs everything in physics, from the path of a planet to the path of a pulse of light. I mean, the path of a planet is like the biggest thing we know about. Pulse of light is the smallest thing we know about. And the principle of least action governs everything. Least action is the minimum of energy multiplied by the minimum of time. So the shortest possible time, the least possible energy used. Therefore, in moving from your present state, that is where you are today, to the state desired, that is your goal. How do you want to live? The freedom you want, the effortless freedom, in time, in money, emotional freedom, peace of mind, everything. So moving from the present state where you are today to the state desired, you must use the minimum of energy and take the shortest possible time. Your journey from one state of consciousness to another is a psychological one. Reaching your goal is not a physical event, it's a psychological event. So to make the journey, you must employ the psychological equivalent of least action. And what is that? The psychological, meaning the mind, equivalent is mere assumption. Assumption. So what is an assumption?
So you can actually assume something and it will happen?
Well, you have to do it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But an assumption is something you take as true without physical evidence. You assume it. You just take it for granted that you can do it, that you can reach your goal. And we say, think and act like the person you want to be. And when the goals are done, time is relative. When you go into quantum physics, time doesn't exist. And in physics as well. When two particles move up to, we haven't been able to, moving two particles up to the speed of light. But when we are really, 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 really close, and they do that in this particle accelerator in Switzerland, when they are really, really close, distance disappears and time disappears, goes to zero. And it's the same thing. It's a universal principle, just like law of assumption here. So we assume it to be, and that is the point. And then this law of assumption, it states that by believing the thing you want already exist in your life, you will manifest it into existence. Manifest meaning that it will materialize into existence. So how do we assume? That's interesting. How do you actually assume that you already are the person in your goal? You come to that later. You use your imagination. You use your mind to go there. Use your mind to go there. And the mind, remember the stick figure, Elin?
Yes, I do.
Bob Proctor's stick figure. I still miss him.
Yeah,
Bob was in my life just a few months, and you know how much we can be grateful for what he did. He completely changed my life.
Yeah, he made a great impact on you. He did, really did. But
yeah.
I'm more like the imagination. I know that Bob Proctor also said that imagination is the biggest nation in the world, and I love that expression. So, but how do you use your imagination to reach your goal?
Well, it's not only the imagination you use. We use our entire mind. The Effortless way says that it's a psychological journey, meaning that we use our mind first. And the mind, is the conscious mind or the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is where all we have learned is in the conscious mind. And the conscious mind is linked to the 5 physical senses, see, hear, taste, touch, smell. And we use all our thinking to think about what we want. Remember Andrew Carnegie? Any idea that is held in the mind that is emphasized, either feared or awared, either you want it or not, will immediately start to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. The first time I heard that, and I write about that in my book too, I thought, then I'd rather start thinking about what I want. Right?
Yeah, because most people think about what they don't want.
Yeah.
And then you
sometimes
get more
we
of
do
that.
too.
Yeah, of course. But it's easier. Like this morning when you said you were not good at something, and I said that you were not good at something yet.
That's
so
right.
you will still you have to take your own medicine sometimes.
I do all the time.
We all
do. All have to take our own medicine. So let's continue with the mind. We have this conscious mind where everything is taught. Everything we have taught in school, all the books we have read, everything we hear. Right? And that is linked to the 5 physical senses, see, hear, taste, or smell. What most people do is that they let the 5 physical senses, and I just have to say it's really beautiful outside now. It's what we call it is. It's,
you can see my background.
You can see what we call the blue hour when it's clear and snow in Norway, and then the sun sets actually.
You can see my background.
Yeah, you can see it. It's really beautiful. Okay, so the 5 physical senses. What most people do is that they let the 5 physical senses dictate their future. Oh, my bank account, sales, your income, everything that happens. I read something in the news. I had a discussion with a client of mine today. We talked about the general world economy, and I said I don't believe what the newspapers write about the economy. I think it's a different view. And she said, how, why do you have that view? I said, well, I study in a different way. I read different things than the mainstream media. So I don't let that affect my feelings. I don't let that affect our goals and our results, because we have our goal, and that is much more important. Because back to Andrew Carnegie, any idea that is held in the mind, which idea do I hold in my mind all the time? My goal. Right? With my goal card with the pictures, my goals. Any idea that is held in the mind that is emphasized, either feared or awared, and that is revered, like that is what I want. So I continue focus on that. And then I know with the effortless way, which is to use the higher faculties. The subconscious mind is linked to the higher faculties. And what are the higher faculties? We have talked about that before, but we can repeat that. So the higher faculties is your imagination, as you said, the biggest nation in the universe. Well, you said the world, and I don't remember if Bob said the world or the universe.
He said the universe.
I think it's the biggest place in the universe is your imagination, because we can go anywhere with our imagination, our ability to dream. How do we use that to reach our goals? Well, we use that to make the pictures and get emotionally involved into our goals. We see ourselves sailing around the world. We see ourselves helping people all over the world. You see yourself having the financial freedom or emotional freedom or freedom of time you want. You see you have your dream career. You can close your eyes, or maybe you can see it with your eyes open as well. And then you feel it. So that's imagination. You have your intuition your essential silent partner, right? The intuition is the voice that nudges you, the silent voice that maybe leads you on the right way as well to reach your goals. You have a memory. Most people use their memory to think about everything they don't want. We use our memory to think only about what we want. All the good memories, and then we create future memories as well. With our imagination, we see ourselves in the goals and we create that movie, and then we use the memory to remember it. Reasoning, your ability to think, maybe the most important thing. Develop your thinking, control your thinking, and to control your thinking, use your will. That is your ability to concentrate, your ability to focus, and you develop that over time. And the perception. Bulletproof your perception to your advantage. It is only to see what you want. It's like your perception is your looking glass on the world. If you change the way you look at the thing will change.
Hi, this is Christer. Thank you for watching and listening to our podcast. We really appreciate that. As you see, we love sharing how you can live the life you truly want, and we also love sharing how we live this every day. You know what changed my life is that I did one thing. I signed up for a strategy call with my first mentor. That was the one thing that changed my life. And that is why we offer you to do exactly the same thing with me and my team as well, because we know that call, those 30 minutes can be the thing that changes your life. So if you go to our website, christerjohnsen.com, up in the right corner, you will find a button to click on. Click on that button and book a strategy call with us. It might be the best thing you ever done to change your life. Have a wonderful day. And now, back to the podcast.
And these 6 higher faculties we use because when we put things down into the emotional mind, everything is true. Right? The intellectual mind, we choose if it's true or not because that is everything we have taught. Then in the emotional mind, everything is true. And that is how we develop or use, not develop, we use the effortless way. In between the emotional and the intellectual mind, you have the analytical mind. And I will come to a principle that Napoleon Hill, in his Think and Grow Rich book, he has a own chapter about that. I think it's chapter 4. It is called autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is a suggestion from yourself to yourself. Right? So it's a suggestion. And it is through autosuggestion, which is repetition, repeat over and over and over and over and over and over again, you accept the idea that you can reach your goal. And basically what we do is that we fill our analytical mind with our goal, the thought about our goal. So we filter everything that happens around us, all the impressions from the 5 physical senses, everything we get in the conscious mind, and we filter that through the analytical mind that is filled with the goal. It might seem complicated, but it's really easy. It goes back. Yeah, go on.
So actually the effortless way might seem complicated, but it still is effortless.
It is effortless because effortless means that it's a psychological journey. It means that you, like Jim Rohn said, those who are successful work harder on their mind than on their job. Because effortless means that it's not physical. It's not physical. Well, it is some physical, but you use. I often say you use the universe to your advantage. That is how you use it. But so when you start to be aware that everything that happens around you is related to your perception, and when you understand that you can change your perception, things around you change. And how you look at it.
Yeah, and that goes for memories as well.
Memories as well, absolutely. I can still pick up bad memories from my past, but I don't want to give them energy.
Or you can give them good energy.
I can be absolutely yes, that's a good point, Elin. I can be grateful for all what I call bad stuff, but there has been painful situations, of course. We have lost someone we love. Like me, I was bullied in school for many, many years. And I can be angry about that, but no, I am not. I'm actually grateful for that because it has taken me to where I am now. And I'm really happy where I am now. And that is how you can decide if your history has been, if your story has been good or not. If you're happy where you are now, well, then it has been good. It's not supposed to be. Effortless doesn't mean painless.
No.
We said that on the high achiever course today. I think we have tried more times than the participants have failed so far. I mean, we try. No, we have failed more than they have tried. That is what I meant. We fail all the time, right? We fail forward. We learn. We fail. We learn. We try. Oh, that worked. Then we do more of that. We try. It failed. We try again. Fail. Try. Fail. So we fail forward. But that's a perception too. I'm so grateful for every time we fail. Of course, I wanted to be successful all the time. That is not the point. The point is that through failing, we learn and we grow as persons. We become better, higher versions of ourselves. We have better thinking, better actions, more knowledge, more gratitude. More gratitude.
Always gratitude.
So then go back to autosuggestion. It's through the principle of autosuggestion, voluntarily, with your own will, go from the conscious into the subconscious. So that is how you can say that you actually can control how you feel, because you control your thinking, and through the autosuggestion, you only accept ideas that take you to your goal, that is in line with what you truly want. And then it makes you feel good. Right? And actually, autosuggestion is related to the placebo effect. And I told I'm not very often at my doctor's, and he's not working anymore. But I told him, I love placebo. Give me white pills. I said, just tell me they work, and I will believe in you. And it is the same thing, right? I don't say you shall do that with physical things, but it's the same principle. The psychological technique related to autosuggestion is the placebo effect. And it's a strong effect because we convince ourselves that we can live the life we truly want.
So can I ask, what about doubt?
That is what changed my life, was this question, because I asked exactly that question. How long time is it now? It's some years ago. That was at the first meeting I had when Bob Proctor was my mentor, and he was just in my life for a few months, and I still miss him. I'm so grateful for him every day. But I asked that question to Bob. I said, Bob, what do we do with doubt? How do we deal with doubt? Because I was so full of doubt. I had studied the universe and the law of attraction and a lot of things for many, many years, and I knew about it. There's a big difference between knowing about it and do it.
Yes.
It's a big, big difference. It has I almost had no effect, but it has very, very little effect in my life. Just knowing about it. It was when I started living it that it changed. So doubt, I asked Bob, what do we do with doubt? And he looked, and it was exactly like this. I think he was in Canada at home in the studio, and I was here in Norway. I remember I sat downstairs in our living room, and I looked at Bob and said, Bob, what do we do with doubt? How do we deal with that? And he looked at me and said, Christer, you have a self-confidence problem. And I was like, I had this great career, and you know me. But inside I was doubtful because I was afraid. And that fear came out as anger, arrogance. And that was who I was at that time. And my first reaction was, of course, if you read my book, you can see my standard quote, do you think you are? But then I realized, no, this guy, he knows what he's talking about, and he talked to my heart, not my ears. So I listened to him and I said, wow, actually I have a self-confidence problem. I'm insecure. I'm afraid. And that is how we deal with doubt. Doubt is like for the old ones of us. We grew up with Superman. The story, the movies about Superman, and the only thing that could kill him was kryptonite, green rocks of kryptonite. It's the same thing with doubt. Doubt is kryptonite. It's poison to the goal achieving process, and that is where autosuggestion comes in. I know I can. 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 I haven't done it before, therefore I can. Yeah. I know it's going to be hard. No. When people say that to me, it will take time. I said, well, how do you know? Let's do it in half time. No, I mean, and when you follow the effortless way and you use the law of assumption, things are easier, they go faster and better than you ever thought was possible. And that is the beauty of the effortless way, and the principle or the law of assumption. Because the journey, the goal achieving process is a mental process. Right? It starts with how you think. And then you think mainly about your goals. You filter all the ideas through your goal. Will this take me closer to my goal or not? If no, don't think about it. If yes, put it down in your feelings. And then you feel good. And then you take positive actions as well. What you think affects what you feel affects what you do, and your actions create your life. So the goal achieving process starts with a mental process. You cannot say, I cannot sell, and then try to sell. You just have to practice.
I cannot sell yet.
You cannot sell yet. It's a good one. Do you think into acting or do you act into thinking? I ask you that, Elin, since you are a melancholic more than choleric. Do you act into thinking or do you think into acting?
I think into acting.
Yeah, you should start act into thinking.
Yeah. As a melancholic, I would think into acting.
You have a huge potential when you start act into thinking. And it's the same thing with all of us. You cannot think to your goal. I mean, when you go back to the movie that Bob was in, The Secret, it was a lot about thinking and law of attraction. It just comes to you. No, it's not like that. You think and act, right? And it's so much easier to learn new skills, new way of thinking, new way of acting, new way of feeling by practicing them instead of thinking about them. So we act into thinking, right? That is the effortless way. That is the action part of the effortless way. Okay. Well,
thank you.
Most welcome. And thank you, Elin, and thank you everyone for listening and watching us. Please subscribe. As I said at the beginning, we release new episodes every second week. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube. We are on all social media. If you want to reach out to us, send an email on hello@christerjohnsen.com. Because all we do is to your success. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for listening to this episode of To Your Success podcast. Please leave us a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. For more information on how Christer's mentoring programs can help you in your own life, visit christerjohnsen.com.